What the fuck was that game? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Timmy Talks. Today we'll be reviewing the Chicago Bears matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals, where the Bears went into Cincinnati, won a shootout of a game, 47-42, in the most dramatic fashion ever. It wouldn't be Bears football if they didn't have me crying just for them to come back and bring me back in with a huge dub. Holy fuck. All right, let's get right into it. The Bears offense came out and fucking played on Sunday. It was a Kyle Monangai and Colston Loveland breakout game. The two rookies showing out. Cole Loveland had like 118 yards, 6 catches, 2 TDs, and then Kyle Monangai 176 rushing yards, a 6.8 yards per carry average. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That boy was eating. That boy was just going crazy. His legs just kept on turning and he was getting tough yards. He was being decisive on what hole he's gonna hit, and then he just ran and he got tough yards. He had a couple huge plays. Shout out to the O-line and their blocking. Rome Odunze, if you had him on fantasy, he did absolutely nothing for you. He had 0 catches, but in the run game, he was showing up. On many runs, he was a key seal block on a safety or a linebacker that allowed Monangai to get out free and get a lot more yards. Rome wasn't there in the passing game, but he really showed up in the running game. That is a big thing coming from one of your top receivers, is even if they're not being contributors on the passing game where there should be, at least he showed up in the run game and helped his teammate get a lot of yards and made Monangai's job a little easier. But holy fuck, that last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter was crazy, insane. Now on paper, our defense did absolute shit. We will be doing some film review of them later in the video. You can, if you just want to skip to that review, timestamp will be somewhere on the screen, so feel free to skip to that. And then this will just be a quick recap of the game though. Going into the last 2 minutes, the Bears defense only gave up 20 points and like probably 200 yards, 300 yards in the air, which still isn't good, but Bears were up 14 points going into the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, just for the defense to give up like 120 yards and 2 touchdowns within a minute of gameplay. Like, brother, what are we doing? But Bengals got top tier weapons with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and our defense, Dennis Allen, their game plan was let anyone but Jamar Chase beat you, and the Bengals went, bet, we will. Thankfully, they came up short because of the Bears offense, which is just like so weird to say. The Bears never win a game because of their offense. It's always their defense and special teams carrying them. It is a breath of fresh air, a awesome sign of things to potentially come if we're able to pull out tough wins like this because of our offense, because of a game-winning drive with less than a minute to go. Woo, woo, hold on now. Bears might be scary. Y'all better watch out because the train is fucking coming, boys. Caleb Williams in this offense, 50 seconds left on the clock. Somehow, some way, find a way to not only would they have been in field goal range, which would have been real fucking scary with Carlos Santos on that Loveland touchdown catch, because if the safeties actually tackle him, he's right at that field goal line. We go up, spike the ball, and then you have like maybe 3-4 plays to get a more manageable field goal, which I have full faith in our offense at that point in the time to be able to do that. Now, Carlos Santos actually executing and kicking the field goal and through the uprights, not 100% sure about that. So I'm glad Loveland, big boy, took those hits, bounced off, and just outran those DBs for a touchdown just to seal it. No doubter, easy dub, not really, but you know what I mean. That was awesome. Huge confidence boosters for this offensive line, for this offense in general. And Caleb Williams, who had a bad couple games, showed up, came out, and fucking slanged that motherfucking rock. Holy fuck, that dude was slanging it. There's still obviously some pre-snap penalties that kind of hurt us. They weren't as hurtful as the last couple weeks, which was kind of nice. And then also Theo Benedict, I mean, he's what we got at left tackle. In the run game, he does really well, especially when you get him out into space against linebackers and DBs. His pass protection is just so bad. Like, he's always getting beat. He's always getting pushed into Caleb's lap. Like, the Left side of the pocket is always collapsing into Caleb, which is the reason why he can't really sit cleanly in it and go through his progressions and find the open man, and he's scrambling a lot. This game, his scrambling didn't hurt too much. There wasn't a lot of open receivers or open concepts that he got away from because he had to scramble. Thankfully, there were a couple plays where that happened, but for the most part, he scrambled at good times and made things happen when there was nothing. And also, no turnovers. Huge thing for this team, not having any turnovers. And on the defensive side, they had 3 total turnovers, 2 in like actual time. The last interception was on the Hail Mary, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, a crazy game and a crazy win for the Bears. Watching the game live, kind of looking at this, if you look at the stats, you think this Bears defense, which is abysmal, just awful. But we're going to go into the film, talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not as bad as you think, and let's get right into it. All right, so let's start with the good for the Bears. First off, the Bears defense held the Cincinnati Bengals to only 46 yards on 15 carries with a long of 12 yards. A big reason why the Bears were so good against the run were because of Dexter and Billings. These big boys ate up a lot of double teams, allowing the second level players to fill their gaps and make plays. And this is a key example of why the run defense was so successful for the Bears. So as you can see, you get a tight end motion. It's just going to be a simple zone scheme. So you got combo blocks here, double team here, kick out, trying to steal this guy, and then these guys, this tackle is going to try and climb up, the center is going to try and climb up, and then have the running back use his eyes to see which hole opens up. But no holes open up. These big boys eat up both these double teams, leaving huge run fits for our defense to fit through. And Garner Johnson just does that. Fits through the lane, makes a tackle for a 1-yard gain. This is the story of the game in the run game. Big boys eating up the double teams, allowing the second level players to go and make the tackle. Another good for this Bears defense were the 3 turnovers they had. This one is by Austin Booker. Love to see that he's back out here. It's unfortunate we lost Deo to Achilles injury right after we got Booker back from his injury. It just seems like our D-line cannot all stay healthy at the same time. But Booker, when healthy, and he's going to be out here, 94 on the edge. He's going to be a key part of getting pressure while only rushing 4 for this Bears. Montez Sweat, big 98 over here. Big guy, getting paid a lot of money. Had a lot of resources invested into him. He's a better fit in the run. He can still get after the quarterback, but he's a little older. He's a little slower with injuries and all that stuff. So I believe Austin Booker will eventually become, ideally, our number 1 guy, our number 1 pass rusher, who's someone that we can rely on and expect to get pressure and get to the quarterback. And this is just a great play, great highlight of just his ability and what he can do. He is so long. You can see he stems to the outside to get this tackle to kick. And as this tackle gets his foot, once he lands that back foot, Booker is just going to strike him with a 1-arm stab. Boom, gets him off balance. This tackle has no base. Now Booker has all the power, has all the control, all the leverage, and he's just going to push him down and then get Joe Burrow and force a fumble that the Bears recover. A hell of a rep, a hell of a play by Booker. Love to see it, and we hope to see more of it from him going in the future. The other turnover was an interception by Edmonds. Now this is just a great linebacker play. A great defensive call, honestly, by Dennis Allen. He's been running a lot of man through this drive. So I believe Joe Flacco is going to think that the Bears are going to once again go into a man coverage, and you'll see that they have a man-beating concept down here with their 3 receivers against our 3 safeties. But Dennis Allen throws a changeup, and they actually go zone. So if the Bears were in man, the Bengals are looking for that natural rub route with these corners following each other, but that's not what happens. They're in zone coverage, so this corner is squatting, sitting for this out. This corner right here is all over this in, and because Booker gets such a good jam on Jamar Chase, he doesn't have that explosiveness and that quick speed to beat this linebacker over the top, and Joe Flacco just feels like he has to get rid of the ball, so that's what he does. He's looking for Jamar Chase. He just thinks he has this open running back on the check down, casually flings it, but little does he know, Edmonds is that guy, has that ability to cover. Now, this would have been a pick six. Unfortunately, Edmonds gets touched right there as he intercepted the ball, and the running back was trying to catch the ball. Fortunately for the Bengals, he touches him. Unfortunate for the Bears, because he got up and ran all 96 yards for a touchdown, but it didn't count. Now let's get into the bad for the Bears defense. The Bears defense allowed 5 first downs out of 10 third down opportunities. That is just unacceptable. Can't have that happen. Bengals are also 1 for 1 on 4th downs. So on critical get off the field downs, the Bears failed more than half of the times, which is just isn't good. When you have an opportunity to get off the field, you have to find a way to get off the field. This is in the second quarter. The Bears are up 14-10. It's 3rd and 10. The line to gain for the Bengals is going to be right here. That's the first down line. Anything short of that, the Bengals are potentially going for it, maybe punting it. Depends on how much they have to get. For the Bears, you have to find a way how to get home. So Dennis Allen does his classic, kind of confuse the offense as much as possible. Joe Flacco is 40 years old. He has seen it all. He knows where the pressure could potentially come from, depending on where he's sliding the line. So he's not too fazed by it. Also, usually what happens with the Bears, you'll have your D-line rushing in some way, and then you'll have one of these linebackers / corners coming as well. In the end, you're only still rushing 4. It's just there's so many different potential ways of getting to rushing 4, which can cause some problems for the offense. Doesn't cause any problems for this offense, as our pressure does not get there. So you just get a short motion, or you get a motion over by the tight end. And then as the play starts, it's actually a blitz with a delayed blitz off the edge with Brisker. You have Sewell coming, you have 55, and then our D tackles or defensive linemen rushing as well. It gets picked up really well by the Bengals. The Bears were able to hit home earlier on this, but the Bengals adjusted and pick up this, giving Joe Flacco a very clean pocket to work from. Feels no pressure, no one's even near him. On the secondary side, they're running, I can't really tell exactly what they're running. There's a big miscommunication, a misassignment by Stevenson, because Edmonds is driving the flats. Byard is going deep middle. Wright is looking like he's taking any deep outbreaking routes, any like deep corners by this receiver. So to me, this is giving cover 3 with your 2 buzzing players, deep middle, and then deep third, potentially deep third. Either way, because our middle third player is locked in on this seam route, it opens this humongous void of space in our defense for a very dangerous Jamar Chase that, with zero pressure, Flacco finds him with ease, throw and catch, 36 yards, down to the 5. On 3rd and 10, just cannot allow this to happen. You got to be able to find a way to get off the field. This happened more than once during this game for the Bears, where they got the Bengals on 3rd and long, and then the Bengals were able to convert a huge first down. Wasn't good. Was not good. Here's just another bad play by the Bears. You got 3 minutes, 42 seconds left on the clock in the 4th quarter. You're up 41-27. It's 4th and 10. You got to stop them within 10 yards and you win this game. You get a couple first downs and you win this game. You got to find a way to get off the field as the defense and secure this win. So as you see, the Bears just run simple 2-man. You have 2 high safeties going anything deep, and then you're just man to man to man to man to man. In this defense, you got to win your matchup. You got to beat your man and hope that the pass rush eventually gets there. Again, unfortunately, our Bears pass rush, when rushing 4, doesn't get home a lot of the time. The Bengals do a great job at protecting. You can see how clean this pocket is for Joe Flacco. He doesn't have anyone 4 yards near him. He has all the time in the world to sit back, diagnose the defense, and wait for one of these matchups to win. which is very easy to do when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Believe it or not, it wasn't those two that won their matchup. It was the running back right here going on an angle route against TJ Edwards. So an angle route, this running back is going to come out here, sell that he's going out to the flat, and then cut it right back up inside. This huge route for man-to-man matchups because, as you'll see, there's no one in the middle of the field. So he has plenty of room to run, and that's exactly what happens. TJ messes up. He goes too far outside, loses inside when he has inside leverage, and Brown just goes for 21. On 4th and 10, you get off the field, you win this game. You're 2 first downs from winning this game. So look at it from the butt view. Our D-line does run a stunt, but it just doesn't get home in time. It just takes way too long. So what I'm talking about is these are usually Texas stunts, tackles over end. So you're going to have your tackles crashing, your ends stepping up and then folding in. Tackles crashing and stepping up and folding in. You're hoping for miscommunications by the O-line with these stunts, but the Bears were running it all day and the Bengals were all over it. Also, just not fast enough. Like Montez Sweat, big man, getting paid a lot of money, just no real speed. Booker does kind of get over, but tries to get in the lane of the throw, but it happens too quick. Edwards loses too quick. And I don't think any of our guys are winning anytime soon, even if TJ's all over this. But on TJ's side of the ball, as a linebacker, just cannot happen. You have inside leverage. So here's TJ. You have inside leverage of this back. What he should be looking at is the inside hip of the running back, and he should never be over the edge of it. It's 4th and 10. If he comes out and runs a flat route, rally and tackle him. Make that play. It's not going to get 10 yards unless if he absolutely burns you over, but believe in your speed, believe in your ability. That's not going to happen. The only way you lose is if you do exactly what happens and you lose inside leverage and let him cut it back inside. Unfortunately, that's just exactly what happens. TJ over pursues. Sees already he lost his inside leverage, and the running back is now just cutting inside. He's done. He's cooked. There's no way you can recover from this. I don't care if you're Fred Warner. I don't care if you're freaking Ray Lewis. I don't care what kind of linebacker you are. With this leverage and this ability to be able to cut in, you're not gonna make this play. And unfortunately, that's what happens. An easy pitch and catch for Joe Flacco for 21 yards and to keep the game alive. Now let's talk about the ugly for the Bears defense. In the last 2 minutes of both half, the Bears gave up a total of 175 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Just unacceptable. A lot of NFL games are won and lost in the last 2 minutes of the halves, especially in the fourth quarter, as we saw in this game. Here they are, the Bengals, with less than a minute going into halftime. The Bears ideally just force a field goal or just get off the field, but that's not what happens. Now this is just a hell of a play by T. Higgins. He just gets a one-on-one matchup that Joe Flacco likes. Nick Wright on the top of your screen against T. Higgins. T. Higgins just goes by him and then just makes a hell of a play. Wright's in the right position. He's all over this double move, double step. He's right there. He's looking for the ball, looking for the interception. Just loses his balance. T. Higgins makes a hell of a catch and scores. It's bad that they scored at the end of half, but with this play, you just tip your cap off to the T. Higgins. Hell of a catch, hell of a play, well done. Got to move on going into half and be better. But holy shit, this was a hell of a catch by T. Higgins. Just snagged that shit. Insane. Part of the ugly, but it's a play that's not very ugly in its own right. But as a whole defense on the end of the half, it was a very ugly thing. More ugly by the Bears defense. Now this one I'm going to chalk up to Dennis Allen. He just got comfortable calling Tampa 2, and Zach Taylor and Joe Flacco finally came up with a play call that can beat it in a very crucial down. So right now it's 1st and 10. The Bengals are just out of the red zone. It's 1:47 left on the clock, and the Bears are going to run Tampa 2. So what's Tampa 2? You have 2 high safeties right here. You're going to have your corners sitting in the flats. You're going to have 2 hook defenders. And then usually this linebacker is going to be this other underneath player. But in Tampa 2, you're going to have him carrying any vertical, getting in this like kind of middle of the field. So it almost looks like a cover 3. But that's just to help with any deep potential threats. A way to beat Tampa 2 is exactly what the Bengals do. You just overload the safeties with too many potential threats. So what do? They just go 4 verts. You got boom, boom, boom. Now you have this linebacker here, safety over here, safety over here. You have 3 deep defenders and 4 potential routes. And if you don't get any pressure, the quarterback has all the time in the world to sit in the pocket and find the open receiver. And that's exactly what happens. TJ Edwards is going to flip his hip and open looking this way. He's going to take away this vertical threat, which allows this tight end to bend over this hook defender in front of the safety, catch it, and score a touchdown. Again, the Bears are rushing 4. Get a little pressure, but just not enough in time. Easy touchdown, easy throw and catch for Joe Flacco. See that tight end just bending right in front of that safety, right behind the hook defender. Easy touchdown for them. Like Dennis Allen was calling Tampa 2 quite often this game, so you knew the Bengals just had to get him in that call to find the open receiver, and that's what they do. And then they convert the 2-point conversion, recover the onside, and go and score another touchdown to make this a hell of a game. Now, this is the second late touchdown by the Bengals. It's not that ugly looking at it. It's just a great offensive play call by the Bengals and just poor defensive execution by the Bears. I'm not 100% sure what kind of defense the Bears are in, but there's obviously some type of miscommunication because you're going to have a bunch set over here to the right. You're going to have Jamar Chase. This little hook is going to grab the attention of the middle linebacker while this tight end fits right over him. Ideally, it looks like another cover 2, and that's what Dennis Allen was calling all game. Another kind of cover 2 zone where I think this linebacker is supposed to follow this deep middle kind of seam route, but his slight hesitation because Jamar Chase is running a hook near the goal line. There's no one else near him. Joe Flacco, once again, is not pressured by the Bears' defensive line, has all time in the world to dissect the defense and finds a nice, easy throw and catch to the tight end. So as you can see, little motion back and forth, see if there's a man, they're in zone. Joe sees that they're in zone, gives a little signal. Defensive line does another stunt that doesn't get home, and it's just another throw and catch by Joe Flacco and his receiver. So you can see Jamar Chase settling in right here, grabs the attention of this linebacker, and I had the wrong tight end doing the route. It was actually this inside tight end who's gonna stem upside and then break inside in front of this. So he started here, he's gonna stem up, break in front of the face of this hook defender. I don't know if this hook defender is supposed to go man and follow him or what, or I don't know if he's supposed to drop back and then let these hook defenders rally on Chase. I don't know. I'm not in the defensive install meetings. I don't know what the play call exactly was, but what I see on film is the middle linebacker doing a little hesitation. You see that? You see that little hesitation where he, oh shit, tries to jump, try to make the throw, or try to bat the ball, but at that point it's too late. Joe Flacco's elite. He's going to spin that ball to the perfect location. Once again, though, we're doing a Texas stunt where we're trying to get Montez Sweat on a guard or a center matchup, a one-on-one matchup where you can hopefully win. But the Bengals do a great job passing it off. Joe Flacco has no pressure, fits it right over a linebacker for a touchdown in the lead. Now that we got all that out of our system, we cannot end the video on a bad note. So here we are. Game-winning drive, game-winning play by Caleb Williams in this offense. An amazing play. So you got Rome motioning over, and what the Bengals have been playing most of the game, and Ben Johnson came up with a great play to attack it and beat it, is what I'm calling cover 6. You have quarter, half. cover 6. So when Rome does a corner route or an out route, deep out route, you're going to have this corner kind of take him. This safety is going to be looking for any potential threats in the middle, and this safety is having the deep half. And then you're going to have a flat defender, a hook defender, and a middle hook defender. And now what Ben Johnson does, which is awesome, he gets Loveland out here, finds the zone behind the hook defenders and in front of the deep halves, deep quarter defenders. And he's betting on Caleb Williams to have a good enough arm to be accurate enough to make this throw. Because ideally the play ends here on the 40-yard line. They get up, spike the ball, and they have 20-ish seconds, like 18 seconds to run a couple plays to ideally get a closer field goal. This play isn't supposed to go into the end zone, but it does, and that's beautiful. So you have Loveland doing a little bend kind of post route. You see this deep defenders way back here is defending the end zone. This quarter half player is too far from Loveland to make any play, and this other corner is taking away Rome, and you have the hook defenders looking at DJ, making sure that he doesn't get a catch and run. But Caleb, with a beautiful ball, fits it right above this linebacker, hits Loveland in stride, and then Loveland does the rest. Right over the out street, boink, and he's gone. 58 yards, touchdown, Bears win. Get a look at it one more time. See the protection by the O-line. Great job by the boys. Clean pocket all the time in the world. A dot, breaks the tackle, off to the races. Bears win. That's what I'm fucking talking about, baby. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, bear down, Chicago Bears.